22-year-old Dan Harrison from Croydon is fat, miserable and hides away in his bedroom eating.
I've been known to eat 15 donuts in one sitting, a fact that I'm both proud and ashamed of.
Fashion lover Lauren from Portsmouth is morbidly obese, but she doesn't think her weight's a problem.
I'm fine with my appearance. I believe I carry it off quite well.
And both lack the determination or will to do anything about their size. So in a last-ditch attempt to trigger a radical change, they're flying to Argentina, the fattest country in South America, to live with some of the largest people on the planet.
So I'm just shocked. very, very shocked.
They'll be forced to eat what they eat. Live under the same roof in notorious slums. And be reminded of just how much they weigh. Dan and Lauren will discover how in modern-day Argentina, obesity is the curse of the poor.
I never thought we'd come to an impoverished place and see obese people like a norm.
And they'll witness firsthand the gruesome effects of this global phenomenon that's now affecting over 300 million people.
I feel rough.
But will this extreme experience have the desired impact on Dan and Lauren?
We can go out and exercise, but we choose not to. And like they don't have a choice in the matter.
5'9" and 23 stone, Lauren French from Portsmouth is double the weight she should be.
So that gives a body mass index of 45.9, which is actually approaching quite a significant problem.
Despite being told her BMI indicates she's morbidly obese, Lauren isn't worried.
At the moment I'm 23 stone. I'm not happy about the number on the scales, but I know I'm not unhealthy.
Lauren's been overweight all her life, but she believes she eats healthily.
I'm generally a bit of a food snob. I do know quite a bit about nutrition and like the nutritional values of food.
She might eat the right foods, but Lauren doesn't know when to stop.
I absolutely hate feeling hungry. Stuff myself until I feel sick.
But her size has got her boyfriend Johnny worried.
She doesn't necessarily believe that being big, you know, is the same as being unhealthy, which I think it's probably along the lines of denial.
Despite her super size, Lauren wants to enter the skinny world of fashion and hires a studio most weekends to practice her photography.
My goal in life would probably be to be a photographer and have my work published in Vogue. That would really, that would make my day.
But her ambition of becoming a fashion photographer remains a pipe dream, as Lauren's stuck in a dead-end job.
She is a fantastic photographer, but people expect the fashion world to be size 0. Nobody expects to see a size 24.
"22-year-old Dan from Croydon weighs 24 stone.
I would describe myself as fat. Oh no, you know, I'd tend to say massive. Food is very important to me. I mean, I eat everything, but, you know, my real vice is junk food.
Dan gorges himself on a diet of burgers and chocolate. He's addicted to anything sweet and incapable of saying no to anything bad for him.
The irrational part of my brain is just buying things that are attractive to me at the time. That in itself is quite scary, that something as insignificant as chocolate and crisps and donuts or whatever can have that much control over me.
Dan's ballooning weight has cost him the love of his life. His girlfriend of 5 years, Susie, dumped him 9 months ago.
The reason she didn't love me anymore was because you can't love someone you're no longer attracted to.
His weight never used to be a problem. In the first couple of years, he put on probably about a couple of stones, so it wasn't that noticeable, but then it sort of had a spurt and put on quite a lot.
But since being dumped by Susie, Dan has put on even more weight and now spends most of his time locked away in his bedroom.
I'm still really self-conscious about being out in public. If I go like out shopping and I'm on the crowded high street, I always feel like I'm going to bump into people and people are going to get annoyed at the fat man in the way of everyone.
I do think it's really sad, because if you took the time to lose the weight, then you'd be like really good looking, and be really nice, and have like a lot of girlfriends or whatever.
To kickstart them into changing their ways, Dan and Lauren will be spending the next week with 2 obese families in South America.
Hiya. Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm with Lauren. Nice to meet you.
Are you both going to Argentina?
Argentina?
Argentina? Oh, wicked.
Excellent.
No, I wouldn't have thought of Argentina just because, you know, you don't associate it with like obesity and weight really. If anything, I associate it with like poverty.
Argentina is rarely associated with obesity because at its heart is Buenos Aires, one of the most famous cosmetic surgery capitals of the world, where the cool and stylish crowd are image conscious and thin. But in the poverty-stricken suburbs, obesity is rife. And this is where Dan and Lauren will experience a very different reality. They'll first be staying with the enormous Gonzalez family, who weigh in at a shocking 250 stone. Mother Miriam, her husband, retired truck driver Usaldo, and their extended family moved to Argentina from neighbouring rural Paraguay 12 years ago, in search of a better life. But since moving to the city, their weight has more than doubled.
Nosotros sobrepasamos con la comida.
For the next week, Dan and Lauren will eat and live with the Gonzalez family in Don Torcuato, a deprived neighbourhood on the outskirts of Buenos Aires. In anticipation of Dan and Lauren's arrival, the Gonzalez are pulling out all the stops.
Nosotros vamos a hacer todo lo posible para que ellos estén bien, porque nunca hemos recibido una persona así en nuestra casa.
Dan and Lauren have no idea about the Argentinian feast that awaits them.
Do you think they eat in Argentina?
I imagine sort of a lot of fish and seafood for some reason.
Yeah, I was thinking like fish and then pasta.
Maybe sort of Mediterranean style food.
I imagine them to be quite self-sufficient as well, like growing their own vegetables perhaps.
Yeah.
After an hour's journey, Dan and Lauren arrive in Don Torcuato.
It's really basic.
The fact that I don't think anyone here speaks English.
Hola!
Hola, madre!
Bienvenida, bienvenida a mi casa.
Ah,
Bienvenida a mi casa.
yeah.
Corazón
Lovely.
grande, grande. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo le va? ¿Estamos bien? Bienvenida a mi casa, ¿eh?
Thank you.
Bueno.
Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?
Miriam.
Miriam. Oh. Hola, madre Miriam.
Sí, Maya Miriam.
Having been met by Mother Miriam,
Crazy, I love it.
Dan and Lauren are taken back to her home, where the rest of her extensive family is waiting.
Miriam.
Lauren.
Miriam.
It's too many hugs to go around.
Bienvenida.
Hello, Miriam, Lauren.
How many Miriams?
4, porque mamá, Miriam, hija, Miriam, otra gemela, somos gemelas. Sí, Miriam. Sobrina Miriam. También.
Miriam says 4.
Sí, sí.
Dan and Lauren might not speak the lingo, but at least remembering people's names shouldn't be a problem.
It's going to be a laugh.
The Argentinians are the biggest consumers of beef in the world, and the family waste no time in welcoming Dan and Lauren with an asado, a traditional Argentinian barbecue.
Okay. Is that cow head?
Barbecuing every last bit of a cow, including its head, dates back to when the cowboys roamed the Argentinian plains, living off their stock. And today, the more unusual the cut, the more it's considered a delicacy.
Come, es rico.
Ese es rico.
¿Eh?
Es rico.
It's nice.
Mucha carne.
Mucha carne.
First time I've ever tried like head and tongue, and it's lovely.
I'll try a bit. A little, pequeña. It's actually a cow's tongue.
Yeah.
Lorena está así como en suspenso.
Having a tough time.
Miriam, do you do this a lot with the heads?
Bueno, cada tanto, tenemos un acontecimiento como ahora.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias.
Very nice.
And the best bits are kept for the special guests.
Dan, te toca a ti. Ahora va a comer Dan, cerebrito.
No, you gotta get the really sloppy.
Dan. Mucha sal, mucho limón.
It's like awful.
Now the eye.
I genuinely didn't know that the Argentinian diet was quite heavy in red meats. You know, it's pleasantly surprising. I even actually kind of enjoyed the brains. I'm like a really bad red meat eater, so massive joints of meat cooking over like a barbecue is just sent me close to heaven for me, so I was quite chuffed.
Camión.
Truck. Ah, you drive. Oh.
Burger lover Dan clearly landed on his feet. The Miriams love their meat, and none more so than Madre Miriam's son, 28-stone Tito, a truck driver.
Allá, camión, baja, parrilla, asado.
Ahí. Ajá.
Te va a la noche, asado. Come. Y después cerveza, verde. Mucho.
It just seems like an accepted thing, to be honest. I mean, I think in this family, if you're bigger, then you're seen as more healthy, you know, well-fed. It's you know, it looks good on the family, I think, if they're bigger. Buenas noches, madre.
The Brits' second day in Buenos Aires, and as far as Mother Miriam's concerned, they're already part of the family.
Hermosa hija, dormió bien, mi gordita. Amaneció mi hijo, mi gordito. ¿A toma mate?
Mother Miriam sets her guests up for the day with a hearty Argentinian breakfast of sweet pastries and toffee spread.
I think it's like caramel. It's lovely.
¿Te gusta?
After last night's meat overload, Dan and Lauren head to one of Buenos Aires' biggest abattoirs to find out exactly what it is about meat that's making the Argentinians fat.
Well, this isn't going to do up. Look.
55 million cattle are bred in Argentina a year, so meat is important.